If you're listening to this, you're not here by chance. You were pulled here by something deeper. Something inside you is ready to break the code, to unlock the brain hack that few ever discover, and even fewer survive unchanged. This isn't just another self-help story. This is the blueprint behind power that feels almost unnatural, the kind of shift that turns fear into fuel, doubt into dominance, and limitation into legend. But be warned, once you access this, you can't go back. You either evolve or dissolve. We're talking about a switch inside your mind. Flip it, and your body starts to obey you in ways science can't explain. Strength beyond fatigue, focus beyond chaos, magnetism that bends reality itself. But flip it recklessly, you risk losing the very thing that made you human in the first place. This audiobook isn't here to inspire you. It's here to rewire you. It's a map for the ones who were never meant to follow the rules. For those who feel the pull of something more, something sharper, stranger, and far more powerful than what we've been told is possible. If you're done playing by the rules of the ordinary, if something inside you just woke up, drop "I'm ready" in the comments and claim your place at the edge of the mind's final frontier. Let the world know you didn't come here to be human. You came to transcend it. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and become one of the first 20,000 to escape the illusion that real power is supposed to be polite. And if this message sparks something untamed in your core, the thanks and join buttons are open. Fuel the movement that's dragging hidden knowledge into the light, where silence shatters and true force begins. Now let's begin. Chapter 1. The Hidden Architecture of Your Mind. The brain, a vast and intricate network, operates far beyond the mere conscious awareness that we typically associate with thought. It functions as a multi-dimensional supercomputer, processing an immense amount of information in parallel and often outside the scope of our direct attention. The complexity of this processing is not confined to what we can observe or even control. Our conscious mind is but a small portion of the entire structure that underpins our experiences. The deeper hidden layers of our brain engage in continuous activity, sifting through, organizing, and responding to stimuli from the physical and metaphysical realms. In this way, the mind operates much like a supercomputer, harnessing data that is continuously fed through its neural circuits, much of which remains outside of our awareness, but nonetheless shapes the reality we perceive. At the core of this hidden structure is the subconscious mind, a powerful and influential force that transcends our conscious awareness. This part of the brain operates not in linear time or space, but in parallel realities, where different aspects of our existence exist simultaneously, influencing the world we experience. These parallel realities, which we often perceive as separate from one another, are not isolated. Instead, they are interwoven into the fabric of our daily existence. Our subconscious interacts with these various layers of reality, crafting the narratives that inform our beliefs, emotions, and perceptions. In many ways, this unseen mind is the true architect of our lives, designing patterns and pathways that we may not consciously recognize, but are undeniably felt. It shapes not just how we view the world, but how the world responds to us, creating a feedback loop between inner thoughts and outer experiences. This hidden architecture is further enriched by the remarkable adaptability of the brain. Neuroplasticity, a process through which the brain reorganizes and rewires itself, plays a critical role in shaping our abilities and potential. In this vast, intricate network, pathways are not static. They are constantly evolving. Neuroplasticity allows us to create new connections between neurons, essentially forging new pathways that can enhance our mental capacities and even develop extraordinary abilities. These pathways, once activated, can facilitate experiences that we may label as supernatural, such as intuition, heightened perception, or the ability to tap into realms of thought and existence that seem beyond the ordinary. The brain's ability to rewire itself means that we are not confined to our current state of awareness. We have the potential to access abilities and states of consciousness that have long remained dormant within us. Much of this hidden potential lies in the parts of the brain that remain dormant, often overlooked or underutilized in our everyday experiences. These regions, though seemingly inactive, are far from irrelevant. The activation of these brain areas has the power to unlock abilities and modes of perception that we may not even be aware of, waiting silently for the right conditions to awaken. This dormant potential is akin to an undiscovered treasure buried deep within the mind. When accessed, it allows for profound shifts in how we experience the world, enabling us to expand our capacity for thought, awareness, and even transcendence. These brain regions are connected to higher states of consciousness, intuition, and even the ability to perceive alternate dimensions or realities, giving us a glimpse into the limitless possibilities that lie within our own minds. There is an inherent paradox at the heart of human consciousness. We are both the creators and the creations of our own minds. On one hand, our conscious mind is the architect, designing the blueprints of our thoughts, actions, and reactions. On the other, we are the constructions of those same blueprints, shaped by the environments and experiences we encounter. This dual role creates a dynamic and often perplexing relationship between thought and reality. We are constantly in the process of constructing and deconstructing our identities, beliefs, and perceptions. At the same time, we are bound by those same constructs, unable to fully break free from the systems and structures we have created. The mind, in this sense, is a paradoxical force, both the creator and the creation, the builder and the built. It operates in cycles of self-creation, constantly reflecting the inner world onto the outer world, with each influencing the other in a delicate dance of mutual transformation. This architecture of the mind is not a static entity. It is constantly shifting, evolving, and expanding. What we understand as our conscious awareness is but a fraction of the vastness of our mental capacity. Much of what lies beneath the surface is untapped potential, ready to be activated through awareness, practice, and intention. Our minds, in their fullest expression, operate in ways that we have yet to fully comprehend. The mysteries of how our subconscious shapes our experiences, how neuroplasticity can unlock new abilities, and how the mind functions as both creator and creation offer a profound insight into the true nature of human consciousness. Through understanding and exploring these hidden dimensions of the mind, we open the door to a deeper connection with our true potential, one that transcends the limits of conventional thinking and perception. Chapter 2. Decoding. The frequency of thought. Every thought that passes through your mind is not just a fleeting idea, it is a vibrational force, oscillating at its own unique frequency. This frequency is far more significant than we often realize. It interacts with the electromagnetic field of your body, influencing not only how you feel in the present moment, but also affecting your overall health, energy levels, and perception of reality. This connection between thought and vibration forms the foundation of how your body communicates with the universe at a quantum level. When you think, you're not merely generating a mental image or concept. You're emitting an energetic signal that ripples through your being and extends outward into the world around you. These signals are received by the environment, and their resonance can either align with or clash against the energy of the people, places, and situations you encounter. The idea that thoughts have a resonance or a frequency is not simply philosophical, it's backed by science. When you think, your brain generates electrical impulses that create an electromagnetic field. This field, in turn, can influence the energetic environment both inside and outside of your body. Just like a tuning fork that vibrates at a certain pitch, your thoughts send out signals that resonate with specific frequencies. These frequencies can either be harmonious or dissonant, depending on the nature of the thought. Positive, expansive thoughts tend to vibrate at higher frequencies, while negative, limiting thoughts resonate at lower frequencies. These vibrational frequencies are not just abstract concepts, they actively shape the reality you experience. The resonance of your thoughts is like a gateway, directing the flow of energy toward specific outcomes. This is how your thoughts play a direct role in the events, opportunities, and challenges that appear in your life. Every thought you have is a subtle but powerful force that influences the course of your existence. Thoughts do not merely exist in isolation, they have a magnetic quality. The energy emitted by your thoughts aligns with the frequency of similar energy fields around you. When you think thoughts that are aligned with abundance, love, or positivity, you attract circumstances that mirror that vibrational frequency. You might find yourself encountering opportunities that support your growth or meeting people who share similar values and goals. Conversely, when your thoughts are filled with fear, doubt, or negativity, they attract experiences that mirror that low-frequency energy. Challenges may seem to appear out of nowhere, or you may feel blocked in your efforts to move forward. The frequency of your thoughts is constantly drawing in energetic experiences that match their resonance, making it clear that you are not a passive observer of life. You are a dynamic participant, and your thoughts play a crucial role in the creation of your reality. The science of thought frequency and its impact on your life can be understood by examining how the brain and body work together to create energetic states. Our brains are electrical organs, generating billions of electrical impulses every second. These impulses are not random. They form patterns that can be categorized into different states of consciousness, from deep sleep to heightened states of awareness. When you experience a positive thought, the neural pathways in your brain fire in a way that generates a higher frequency. This higher frequency activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes relaxation, health, and balance in the body. In contrast, negative thoughts generate a lower frequency and trigger the sympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the fight-or-flight response. This response can increase stress, tension, and a sense of imbalance. The more we align with lower-frequency thoughts, the more we experience physical manifestations of these thoughts in our body. This creates a feedback loop that reinforces the initial thought pattern, making it harder to break free from negative cycles. As you learn to understand and master the frequency of your thoughts, you begin to realize that you have the power to alter your own vibrational state. By consciously choosing thoughts that align with higher frequencies, you can begin to raise your energy and elevate your entire experience of life. This isn't about forcing positive thoughts or simply thinking happy thoughts in an attempt to avoid negative emotions. Rather, it's about becoming aware of the energetic signature of each thought and choosing to align with those that resonate at a higher, more expansive level. Thoughts that vibrate at a high frequency are those that support your well-being, creativity, and spiritual growth. They encourage feelings of love, joy, gratitude, and abundance. These thoughts attract similar energies, creating a harmonious flow between your internal world and the external reality. On the other hand, thoughts that resonate at a lower frequency, those rooted in fear, anger, resentment, or self-doubt, serve to lower your vibrational state. These thoughts block the flow of energy in your life, creating a sense of resistance and disconnection. The more you dwell on negative thought patterns, the more you reinforce these low-frequency states. This can result in a feeling of being stuck, disconnected, or out of alignment with your true self. Understanding this dynamic gives you the ability to shift your energy. It's not just about shifting your thoughts, it's about shifting your frequency to one that aligns with your highest potential. When you understand that your thoughts carry this energetic weight, you can consciously choose to direct them in ways that support your growth and transformation. Mastering the frequency of your thoughts is not merely an intellectual exercise. It's a practice that requires deep awareness and intentionality. It requires you to become fully present with the energy that each thought carries, allowing you to discern whether it aligns with your highest self or not. Over time, as you become more attuned to the vibrational quality of your thoughts, you will begin to see how the energetic field of your thoughts directly shapes the world around you. You will find that the more you align with higher frequency thoughts, the more you begin to experience an energetic shift in your environment. Opportunities seem to flow more effortlessly, relationships become more harmonious, and your overall sense of well-being increases. The real power in mastering thought frequency lies in the ability to influence your environment, not just react to it. Many people go through life believing that they are at the mercy of their circumstances. They feel that they are subject to the external world and that they have little control over the events that happen to them. However, when you recognize that you are constantly emitting energetic frequencies through your thoughts, you begin to understand that your environment is a reflection of your internal state. By shifting your thoughts and raising your vibrational frequency, you can begin to reshape the world around you. This shift is not about controlling others or manipulating situations. It's about aligning yourself with the flow of higher frequency energy and watching as your external world begins to mirror that alignment. Chapter 3. The Illusion of Time. How it's created and controlled. Time, in the way we perceive it, is not an inherent law of the universe, but rather a mental construct designed to shape how we experience reality. It's a tool that the mind uses to organize events, compartmentalize experiences, and create a sense of order in what would otherwise be a chaotic flow of existence. From the moment we wake up until the time we fall asleep, our minds categorize everything into segments we call hours, minutes, and days. But this structure of time is an artificial framework, a byproduct of the way we have been conditioned to think about the world. In essence, time is not something that exists independently. It is a product of perception, a mental filter through which we interpret the passage of events. This perception of time is inherently limiting. By organizing life into these fixed segments, we create boundaries that confine our experience. We begin to see our lives as a series of tasks that must be completed within specific timeframes, measuring our success and productivity by how efficiently we adhere to these boundaries. This limitation constrains our potential, not just in terms of what we can achieve, but also in terms of how we experience life itself. Time acts as a cage, constricting our true potential by focusing our attention on finite measurements instead of infinite possibilities. The belief that we are bound by the clock keeps us tethered to a small linear path and blinds us to the vastness of existence that lies beyond these limitations. When you begin to examine time more closely, it becomes clear that your experience of it is not constant, but fluid and changeable. The way your brain processes time is deeply influenced by your emotional state and external stimuli. For example, when you are deeply engrossed in an activity that you enjoy, time seems to stretch and expand, creating a sensation that hours have passed in what feels like moments. On the other hand, when you are bored or anxious, time seems to drag, stretching moments into what feels like endless stretches of stagnation. This is not because time is moving at different speeds, but because your perception of it is being altered by your emotions. The brain is essentially bending time based on the energy it receives from your emotional state and external influences. This means that your internal experience of time is not fixed and can be influenced by how you choose to engage with the world around you. The more you become aware of this, the more you can recognize that you have a degree of control over how time unfolds in your personal reality. Through conscious intention and focused attention, you can begin to manipulate your own personal timeline. This might sound like an abstract concept, but it is a power that has been recognized in various spiritual and philosophical traditions for centuries. The mind is not just a passive observer of time, it is an active creator of time, and through deliberate mental focus, you can shift your perception of it. By learning to direct your thoughts and emotions, you can stretch or compress time, accelerating or slowing down the flow of events according to your desires. This ability to manipulate time is not about controlling the passage of events, but about controlling how you experience and interact with them. Through deep focus, you can immerse yourself in the present moment, allowing it to expand and unfold in ways that defy conventional understanding of time. You can enter states where time becomes irrelevant, where the boundaries of past and future dissolve, and where you exist purely in the now. This is not fantasy. It is an experience that many people have had in moments of deep meditation, flow, or heightened awareness. Time, in this sense, becomes something that is not bound to the clock, but is shaped by your inner state. Time distortion has been a concept explored in ancient spiritual practices and is also being examined in modern quantum science. In ancient traditions, various techniques were developed to transcend ordinary time perception, allowing individuals to experience reality in a completely different way. Practices such as meditation, fasting, and ritualistic ceremonies were designed to slow down or accelerate the individual's experience of time, often as a means of connecting with higher states of consciousness or accessing other realms of existence. These techniques, which have been passed down through generations, show that humanity has long understood the fluidity of time and the ways in which it can be bent and manipulated. These practices provided individuals with a means of accessing more profound states of awareness, where time was not a limiting factor, but a flexible tool that could be harnessed to expand consciousness. Similarly, in modern quantum science, time is increasingly viewed as a subjective experience rather than a fixed, objective reality. Quantum physics suggests that time, much like matter and energy, is not a rigid, unchangeable force, but a dynamic, mutable concept that responds to observation and measurement. In quantum experiments, particles have been shown to behave differently based on the observer's influence, suggesting that reality itself is shaped by consciousness. The study of time within quantum science aligns closely with ancient understandings, where time is not a linear force but a malleable, experiential phenomenon. What we once thought of as a fixed entity now appears to be just as fluid and changeable as any other aspect of our reality. This understanding opens up the possibility of not only manipulating time through external practices, but also recognizing the immense power we have in shaping our own experience of it. The collective perception of time plays an even larger role in shaping our global experiences and collective evolution. Our shared understanding of time dictates how societies function, from work schedules to cultural traditions, and it governs the pace at which civilizations evolve. The way we measure time collectively creates a rhythm that influences everything from economic cycles to the flow of information. This collective perception becomes a force in itself, shaping the development of societies and the direction of humanity. As societies evolve and adapt to changing circumstances, their collective understanding of time also shifts. For example, in the modern world, the rapid pace of technological advancement has accelerated our perception of time, leading to a faster, more immediate experience of reality. This shift has altered how we work, communicate, and relate to each other, pushing humanity into an era where time is both compressed and more fragmented than ever before. This collective perception, however, is not fixed. As more individuals awaken to the understanding that time is a malleable construct, the global experience of time will evolve as well, leading to a new era of possibility and transformation. The more people become aware of the mental construct of time, the more collective reality will shift, opening up new pathways for personal and global evolution. Chapter 4: The Quantum Field of Perception. At the heart of understanding the quantum field lies the idea that your mind is not just a passive observer of reality, but an active participant in shaping it. The observer effect shows us that consciousness itself has the power to influence the very fabric of the universe. It's a simple yet profound truth. When you observe something, you change it. The act of observation doesn't just reveal what is already there. It interacts with the potentialities, collapsing them into the reality that you perceive. This interaction between the mind and the external world is not just philosophical. It's deeply rooted in the way reality itself unfolds. The observer, through focused attention and intention, participates in the creation of the material world. By simply directing attention toward a specific experience, you can shift the possibilities that exist around you, altering the course of events and circumstances. This means that reality is not fixed, nor is it solely determined by external forces. Instead, it is a constantly evolving interplay between your consciousness and the world around you, with your thoughts and observations playing an integral role in how your life unfolds. The quantum leap from particle to wave demonstrates the profound shift that occurs when perception is brought into play. When we think of material reality, we often envision solid, unchanging objects. But in the quantum world, things are not as they appear. Particles, which we traditionally think of as discrete, solid objects, can transform into waves under certain conditions. This shift is not just a physical change, it's a change in how the universe presents itself to us. This is where perception becomes a tool of immense power. When you shift your perception, you're essentially shifting the nature of the reality you experience. The rigid, particle-like structure of your surroundings begins to transform into fluid, wave-like possibilities. It's through this shift in perception that new possibilities emerge, allowing you to experience the world not as a static series of events, but as a constantly evolving wave of potential. The wave-like nature of reality reflects the idea that everything is in a state of constant motion, open to change and evolution. By adjusting your perception, you align with this wave, allowing yourself to move fluidly through a spectrum of possibilities, each one leading to new and unforeseen experiences. Perception serves as a multidimensional tool that allows you to navigate the infinite possibilities that exist within the quantum field. When you observe something, you are not just seeing it from a single perspective. Rather, you are tuning into a vast array of potential outcomes and dimensions. The idea that the universe holds an infinite number of possibilities is not a concept confined to science fiction. It's an intrinsic part of how reality functions. Every decision, every moment of observation, opens a new path, a new possibility. Perception, therefore, is not a simple act of seeing. It is an active process of choice. When you shift your perception, you unlock access to different realms of potential where your desires and aspirations can begin to take form. This multidimensional aspect of perception means that you are not limited by the linear, sequential structure of time and space. Instead, you are free to navigate the quantum field, tapping into the vast spectrum of experiences that are available to you. You have the ability to tune your consciousness to different wavelengths, guiding your experience in the direction that aligns with your deepest intentions. Unlocking the power of observation is key to shifting your reality through intentional focus. The act of observation is not just about passive watching. It is about engaging with the world through a lens of focused intention. When you observe with intention, you actively direct the flow of energy toward a particular outcome. This power of focus is not merely a matter of wishful thinking. It is a fundamental aspect of how reality is created. The quantum field is full of infinite possibilities, and your ability to direct your focus brings certain possibilities into being while leaving others behind. This is where your power as a conscious observer comes into play. When you choose to focus on something, you collapse all other potentialities, bringing that specific possibility into your present reality. The more focused your intention, the more you align yourself with the desired outcome. This principle is at work in every aspect of life, from relationships to career to health. By choosing where to direct your focus, you effectively guide the flow of energy toward the experience you wish to create. Your attention, combined with intention, becomes the key that unlocks the door to your desired reality. Intuition plays a pivotal role in navigating quantum shifts in personal experience. While rational thought and analysis are valuable, it is your intuition that helps you navigate the subtler realms of reality. The intuitive mind has the ability to sense the unseen, to feel the energies that lie beyond the limits of the material world. This inner guidance system allows you to make decisions that align with your highest potential, even when they may not be based on conventional logic. In the quantum field, where possibilities are infinite and fluid, your intuition becomes a powerful compass, guiding you toward the path that resonates with your true essence. By trusting your intuition, you begin to align yourself with the most harmonious experiences, allowing the universe to reflect your inner state back to you. Intuition helps you tune into the right vibrational frequency, ensuring that your choices and actions resonate with the flow of energy that matches your intentions. This guidance is subtle, yet potent, offering clarity when you are faced with uncertainty or doubt. By cultivating and trusting your intuition, you can more easily navigate the shifting tides of personal transformation and quantum shifts in experience. Chapter 5. Harnessing the unseen forces around you. Invisible forces surround us at all times, shaping our reality in ways that often go unnoticed. These forces are not bound by the physical laws that govern the material world. They exist in the background, subtly influencing everything we do, think, and feel. Invisible energy fields, whether they be the Earth's magnetic fields, cosmic vibrations, or other natural phenomena, are constantly at play. These fields act as a kind of unseen architecture that shapes the energy flow in your life. Although we may not be able to physically see or touch these fields, their presence is undeniable. Their influence extends to every facet of your existence, from the way you feel in different locations to how your mind and body respond to specific situations. Tapping into these invisible fields requires awareness and understanding. By cultivating sensitivity to these forces, you begin to recognize their impact and harness their power. This involves becoming more attuned to the subtle signals they send and learning to adjust your focus, intentions, and actions to work in harmony with them. Through this heightened awareness, you can actively channel these forces, allowing them to enhance your physical and mental well-being, or to manifest your deepest desires. Cosmic energy, ley lines, and other unseen forces are more than just abstract concepts. They are fundamental components of the unseen world that exert profound effects on personal power. Cosmic energy refers to the vast, unseen forces that radiate from the universe, influencing everything from planetary alignments to the flow of energy within our own bodies. These energies are not only confined to the vastness of space, they interact with our lives in more subtle ways. Ley lines, often described as channels of energy that run across the earth, are another form of unseen force that can influence our personal energy. These lines, often considered sacred or powerful by various ancient cultures, are believed to connect specific sites of power and radiate a concentrated energy. By positioning oneself along these ley lines or aligning with cosmic cycles, you can tap into a deeper, more potent source of energy. Understanding how these unseen forces operate is key to mastering personal power. They are not just passive background influences, but active, dynamic forces that can be used to strengthen your presence, enhance your personal energy, and create opportunities for growth. By learning to align yourself with cosmic rhythms or the natural flow of ley lines, you can create an environment where your personal power is magnified and your life experiences become more aligned with your highest intentions. Magnetic fields play a powerful role in shaping our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. While we often think of magnetic fields in terms of physical objects, like magnets or the Earth's magnetic poles, they also influence our mental and emotional states. These unseen forces are not just external, but also interact with the bioelectric fields in our bodies, subtly affecting how we think and feel. The magnetic environment around us can influence everything from our stress levels to our ability to focus, and even our mood. When we are in a strong, balanced magnetic field, we feel more grounded and aligned, while an imbalance or disruption in these fields can lead to confusion, irritability, or physical discomfort. The challenge lies in learning to control these forces to ensure they are working for us rather than against us. One way to do this is by consciously placing yourself in environments with positive magnetic influences, such as places in nature that have been shown to have strong magnetic fields, like near bodies of water or on high ground. Alternatively, you can use tools like magnetic therapy or certain practices that help realign and balance your bioelectric field. When you learn how to control and manipulate magnetic fields, You gain the ability to direct these unseen forces to influence your thoughts, behavior, and emotions, ultimately creating a more harmonious and empowered experience. Energetic boundaries are essential in maintaining your personal space and sense of self, especially when navigating the unseen forces that surround us. These boundaries are not just physical, but energetic, acting as an invisible shield that protects your personal space and energy from external influences. In the same way that you wouldn't allow someone to physically invade your personal space without consequence, energetic boundaries ensure that unwanted forces, whether from people, environments, or unseen influences, do not affect your state of being. The challenge, however, lies in knowing how to define and protect these boundaries in an intentional way. When your boundaries are weak or porous, you may find yourself feeling drained, overwhelmed, or even manipulated by external energies. This is why it's essential to understand and create strong, clear, energetic boundaries. By doing so, you prevent yourself from being unduly influenced by negative or disruptive forces, allowing you to maintain a strong sense of self and personal power. These boundaries can be strengthened through various practices, such as visualization, energetic clearing techniques, or even physical movements that create a sense of separation between you and the external world. The stronger and more defined your energetic boundaries, the more you can maintain your personal integrity, protect your space, and navigate the unseen forces that surround you with confidence and clarity. Practical techniques exist that allow you to amplify and direct unseen forces to manifest your desired outcomes. The universe is full of forces that are not immediately visible to the naked eye, yet they are constantly at play, shaping your reality. To harness these forces, it's crucial to first become aware of their presence. Once you are attuned to them, you can use your mind and body to direct them in specific ways. One of the simplest techniques involves using your thoughts as a form of communication with the unseen world. By focusing your thoughts with clear intention, you send out a signal to the universe, directing these invisible forces to manifest your desires. This can be as simple as a moment of deep focus and visualization, imagining your goal as already realized. Another technique involves engaging with the natural world. Natural elements such as water, earth, and air are alive with unseen forces, and when you connect with them, you can amplify your own personal energy and direct it towards your goals. For example, grounding yourself on natural earth or working with the flow of water can help you align with the unseen forces that exist within nature, enhancing your ability to manifest what you desire. These techniques are powerful because they allow you to align your intentions with the larger unseen forces around you, amplifying your personal power and accelerating the manifestation process. Chapter 6. Reprogramming your reality. Through symbolic language. The subconscious mind holds a vast reservoir of symbolic language that influences our thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions in profound ways. Hidden deep within, there are symbols that guide us, shaping the way we experience reality and our place within it. These symbols are not arbitrary or random. They are encoded in our consciousness, often from early life experiences, cultural conditioning, or even ancestral memories. Over time, these symbols become part of our mental framework, shaping our interactions with the world. This hidden language of symbols holds tremendous power, as it can shift the way we perceive ourselves, others, and the universe around us. By becoming aware of the symbols embedded in our subconscious, we gain the ability to rewrite the scripts that govern our lives. The process of reprogramming our reality begins by recognizing these symbols and their significance, then consciously altering or replacing them with new ones that align with our desired outcomes. The symbols that are embedded in our subconscious not only affect our thoughts, but also manifest in our behaviors, emotions, and even in the events we attract into our lives. Understanding this language of symbols allows us to step into a more empowered role in shaping our reality. Ancient symbols and archetypes carry profound wisdom that transcends time and culture. These symbols have been used for centuries by civilizations across the world to tap into universal truths about human nature, existence, and the cosmos. From the ancient Egyptians to the indigenous peoples of the Americas, symbols like the Eye of Horus, the Ankh, or the spiral have been revered for their ability to access deeper layers of consciousness and bring about personal transformation. These symbols are not simply decorative. They hold vibrational frequencies that resonate with the unconscious mind. When we come into contact with these symbols, we are connecting with an ancient archetypal language that speaks directly to our subconscious. These archetypes, whether they represent elements of creation, transformation, or protection, can serve as gateways to higher states of consciousness, unlocking new dimensions of understanding and perception. By incorporating these symbols into our daily lives through meditation, visualization, or even physical adornments like jewelry or tattoos, we can begin to reprogram our mind. They act as triggers, unlocking hidden potential within us and helping us access parts of our consciousness that were previously dormant. In doing so, these ancient symbols serve as powerful tools for personal growth and transformation, guiding us to deeper levels of self-awareness and spiritual awakening. In the modern world, new symbols emerge that reflect the shifting tides of culture, technology, and collective consciousness. These modern symbols, though often more abstract or conceptual, can have a significant impact on our subconscious mind and its ability to shape reality. For instance, the symbol of the smartphone, the social media-like icon, or the peace sign carries with it a potent charge of meaning that influences the collective psyche. While these symbols may seem trivial or mundane on the surface, they hold deep power over the way we think, feel, and behave. The more we interact with these symbols, the more they become embedded in our subconscious programming. As with ancient symbols, modern symbols can be used to manifest desires and transform mental landscapes. They act as cultural markers, constantly reinforcing certain ideas, values, and behaviors that shape the way we engage with the world. For example, using the symbol of a heart to represent love or a dollar sign to symbolize wealth can reinforce specific ideas about our self-worth and our place in society. By intentionally choosing which modern symbols we engage with, we have the ability to shift our subconscious programming. This allows us to reframe our perception of the world and open ourselves to new possibilities. The power of modern symbols lies in their ability to communicate directly with the unconscious mind, influencing our behavior and mindset in ways that are often invisible to our conscious awareness. The science behind how symbols influence our minds reveals a deeper understanding of how neural networks and cognitive pathways are formed. When we encounter a symbol, it activates a specific neural network in our brain, prompting a cascade of mental and emotional responses. These responses are not random, but are shaped by our past experiences, cultural conditioning, and the inherent meaning embedded within the symbol itself. Over time, repeated exposure to certain symbols strengthens the neural pathways associated with them, making them more deeply ingrained in our subconscious. This process of neural conditioning explains why certain symbols can trigger specific thoughts or emotions with such precision. It also sheds light on why symbols have the power to reprogram our minds and alter our perception of reality. The brain, in its remarkable adaptability, creates new cognitive pathways in response to repeated stimuli. As we consciously choose symbols that resonate with our desired outcomes, whether they are ancient archetypes or modern representations, we begin to create new neural pathways that align with our intentions. This rewiring of the brain is a fundamental aspect of personal transformation. By intentionally using symbols to evoke positive emotions, beliefs, or experiences, we can reshape our cognitive processes and create a new reality. The more we work with symbols, the more we activate the parts of our brain responsible for manifesting our desires, turning our inner thoughts into outer experiences. Mastering the art of creating personal symbols is perhaps the most powerful way to reprogram your reality. While ancient and modern symbols offer a wealth of wisdom and power, the true magic lies in crafting symbols that are unique to your own journey. Personal symbols are deeply meaningful representations of your goals, aspirations, and personal experiences. These symbols can be anything from a specific color, shape, or word to an object or visual image that holds particular significance for you. The process of creating your own symbols begins by identifying what is most important to you, what you wish to manifest or transform in your life. Once you have clarity on your desires, you can begin to create symbols that represent these intentions. These symbols act as powerful focal points, channeling your mental and emotional energy toward your desired outcomes. Personal symbols can be used in various ways, as reminders on your vision board, as mantras during meditation, or as physical tokens that you carry with you throughout the day. As you focus on these symbols, they serve as a direct link between your conscious mind and your subconscious, reinforcing your intentions and helping to align your thoughts and actions with your desired reality. Over time, the more you work with these personal symbols, the more they become ingrained in your subconscious mind, creating lasting change and transformation in your life. Through this process, you gain mastery over your inner world and unlock the power to shape your outer reality. Chapter 7. The Unconscious Forces that Shape Your Desires. Our desires, often seen as simple impulses or goals, are far more complex and deeply rooted than they may first appear. Beneath the surface of our conscious awareness, there exists a network of unconscious forces that dictate the choices we make, the actions we take, and ultimately the reality we create. These forces are not always immediately apparent. In fact, they operate behind the scenes, shaping our behavior and the direction of our lives in subtle but profound ways. Unconscious desires, which can be shaped by past experiences, fears, unresolved emotions, and even inherited ancestral patterns, influence our thoughts and actions in ways that we are often unaware of. These desires guide our responses to situations and inform our sense of what is possible or impossible, what we feel we deserve, and the steps we take to achieve our goals. Our actions, whether conscious or unconscious, stem from an intricate web of desires that are primarily rooted in the subconscious mind. By understanding how these desires function, we begin to realize the extent to which they can shape our reality, often without us even realizing it. The hidden beliefs and programming that reside within our unconscious mind play a significant role in determining our pursuit of success or failure. These beliefs are often established early in life, influenced by the environment, cultural norms, and the messages we receive from family, society, and the media. This process often begins with shifting our internal dialogue, replacing words like "I can't" with "I am capable," and "this is impossible" with "anything is possible." It also involves cultivating a deep sense of self-worth and the understanding that we are deserving of success, happiness, and fulfillment. As we consciously begin to rewire our minds in this way, we create new neural pathways that align with the limitless potential within us, enabling us to pursue our desires with greater confidence, clarity, and purpose. This transformation is not instant, but with consistent practice and awareness, we begin to break free from the unconscious forces that have previously held us back, stepping into a reality where abundance, freedom, and possibility are no longer out of reach. Chapter 8. Unlocking the Hidden Power of Sound. Sound is one of the most powerful forces in the universe, impacting not only our external environment, but also the very fabric of our internal being. Every cell in the body is constantly in motion, vibrating at specific frequencies. When we are exposed to sound waves, they can either harmonize with or disrupt these vibrations. On a cellular level, sound waves can influence the way energy moves through our body, shifting our physical, mental, and emotional states. These vibrations are much more than simple auditory phenomena. They have the potential to resonate deeply within us, affecting our thoughts, emotions, and even the health of our tissues and organs. The power of sound to influence us is universal. It goes beyond just hearing the sounds to how they alter the very essence of our biological processes. This is why sound therapy has been used across different cultures and practices for centuries, with sound frequencies becoming a tool for healing and self-transformation. Sound can shift our state of being from a place of dissonance and imbalance to one of harmony and well-being. Understanding this hidden power allows us to intentionally use sound as a tool for personal transformation, aligning our body, mind, and soul to achieve our desired state of health and vitality. The science behind sound's ability to impact our state of being involves the interaction between frequencies and the vibrational systems within the body. Our brain, for example, operates at different frequencies depending on our state of consciousness. When we enter certain frequency ranges, such as those associated with deep relaxation or focus, we experience profound shifts in perception and awareness. Binaural beats, a form of auditory illusion, are a prime example of how frequencies can influence the brain's activity. When two slightly different frequencies are presented to each ear, the brain perceives a third, phantom frequency, which is the difference between the two. This phenomenon can be used to guide the brain into specific states, such as heightened focus, deep relaxation, or deep meditative states. These frequencies can stimulate specific brainwave patterns, allowing us to enter altered states of consciousness that facilitate personal growth, relaxation, and transformation. Binaural beats and other frequency-based techniques can help reset the mind and body, removing obstacles to healing, creativity, and clarity. When we use these frequencies intentionally, we open the door to transformative experiences that go beyond just relaxation or stress reduction. They become catalysts for change and self-empowerment. Sound's role in deep healing, focus, and transcendence stretches beyond the theoretical or scientific understanding of frequencies. It speaks to something more fundamental: sound as an intrinsic force of the universe, capable of altering not just the mind, but the very essence of our consciousness. When used properly, sound can facilitate healing on deep levels, acting as a bridge between the physical body and the energetic fields that govern our overall state of health. Certain frequencies have been shown to align with specific areas of the body, promoting healing in tissues and organs. More than this, sound can also open the mind and spirit to higher states of awareness, helping us transcend limitations and connect to the greater cosmic forces that govern existence. Whether through music, chanting, or vocal toning, sound can guide us through transformative journeys, encouraging deep self-reflection and enhancing the healing process. The sound waves reach beyond the material realm, penetrating the energetic body, affecting our emotions and thoughts, and even providing a direct pathway to higher consciousness. By aligning with the right frequencies and using sound intentionally, we can tap into its healing potential to not only mend the physical body, but also to achieve mental clarity, emotional stability, and spiritual growth. Ancient practices have long recognized the power of sound to alter consciousness and expand awareness. From the sound chambers of ancient Egypt to the chanting of mantras in Eastern traditions, sound was revered as a sacred tool for expanding consciousness and deepening spiritual insight. These practices were designed not only to heal, but to transcend the limitations of the material world and connect with higher realms of existence. The use of sound in ancient rituals was based on the understanding that vibrations could influence the spiritual and physical realms simultaneously. For example, the ancient Egyptians used sound chambers and specific frequencies to facilitate healing, induce altered states of consciousness, and connect with the divine. Similarly, in many indigenous cultures, the use of drums, flutes, and vocal toning was integral to ceremonial practices designed to invoke spiritual power, deepen intuition, and heighten awareness. In these traditions, sound was not just a tool for personal transformation, but a way of aligning with the universe's natural rhythms and energies. Today, many modern sound practitioners still use ancient methods of sound therapy, drawing on these old traditions to facilitate deep healing and growth. These timeless practices demonstrate the universal nature of sound as a tool for transcending the ordinary and connecting with the extraordinary, a link between the physical and the spiritual that continues to be as relevant today as it was in ancient times. The role of music, voice, and sacred vibrations in shifting our vibrational state cannot be overstated. Music is not merely an art form or entertainment. It is a direct reflection of the vibrational frequency of the universe. From classical compositions to modern music, the vibrations produced by sound are a direct mirror of our emotional and spiritual state. Music has the ability to elevate or lower our vibration, depending on the frequency of the sounds and how they interact with our internal state. When we listen to music that resonates with us on a deep level, it can instantly shift our mood, alter our perception, and align us with a higher frequency. Similarly, the human voice has a profound impact on our consciousness. Whether speaking, singing, or chanting, the vibrations produced by our voice can create powerful shifts in the energetic field. Vocal toning, for example, is a practice where specific sounds are made with the intent of balancing energy and promoting healing. Sacred vibrations, such as those produced by particular chants or vocalizations, are often used in spiritual practices to invoke certain energies, facilitate meditation, or connect with the divine. These vibrations can influence not just the mind, but also the energetic layers of our being, bringing us into alignment with a higher state of consciousness. Music, voice, and sacred sounds are thus powerful tools in shifting our vibrational state, providing the means to heal, transcend, and connect with our true essence. Each of these aspects of sound, its impact on the body, its use in deep healing, its place in ancient traditions, and its role in shifting vibrational states, demonstrates the profound power of sound as a force that transcends typical healing modalities. Sound is not merely a tool for relaxation or background noise. It is a universal force that can profoundly alter our consciousness, heal our bodies, and align us with higher frequencies of existence. By tapping into this power and using sound intentionally, we open the door to transformative experiences that reach beyond ordinary healing practices and into the realm of true self-mastery and transcendence. Sound, in its purest form, is not just something we hear. It is something that reverberates through every fiber of our being, shaping our reality and unlocking the hidden potential within. Chapter 9. Mind-warping techniques to transcend the body. The boundary between the mind and body is not as rigid as we often perceive it to be. Our physical body, with its muscles, bones, and organs, seems like the ultimate determinant of what we can and cannot do. However, the mind operates on a level that far transcends the limitations of the body. In many cultures and spiritual traditions, the mind is seen as a powerful force capable of influencing and even overcoming the constraints of the physical world. The key to transcending the body's limitations lies in understanding that the mind and body are not two separate entities but deeply interconnected systems. The perception that the body defines our capabilities is a construct, a barrier that the mind can break through with the right focus, intention, and awareness. By understanding this connection, we can begin to unlock the potential of the mind to perform feats that seem impossible. Our senses and the physical world can only offer us a limited view of reality, but through mental techniques and focus, we can learn to operate beyond this physical framework. This isn't about denying the body's needs or ignoring its signals. Rather, it's about learning to transcend its constraints and tap into the deeper layers of reality where the mind holds the true power. When the mind aligns itself with higher frequencies, it can override physical limitations, allowing the body to perform in extraordinary ways that would otherwise seem impossible. Mystics, spiritual warriors, and other advanced practitioners have long known that to break free from the constraints of the physical body, one must access a state of mental freedom and mastery. These techniques, often passed down through secret teachings and ancient traditions, offer profound insights into the ability of the mind to transcend physical limitations. One such technique is known as mind over matter, which refers to the practice of using mental focus and willpower to perform feats that are beyond the body's natural capacity. These mystics often engage in intense mental disciplines that allow them to enter altered states of consciousness where their physical body becomes secondary to the power of their mind. In these states, they can perform incredible feats, such as walking on fire, enduring extreme temperatures, or surviving on minimal sustenance. The true power lies not in the body's inherent strength, but in the mind's ability to override the body's limitations. Through practices that focus solely on mental strength, such as intense meditation, visualizations, and the honing of focused intent, these individuals train themselves to become impervious to the signals the body sends. By accessing deep states of consciousness, they can detach from the limitations of the physical world and access a greater universal force that enables them to achieve the impossible. These techniques are not merely about physical endurance, but are rooted in a deeper understanding of the mind's potential to shape and alter reality itself. The connection between mental strength and the body's ability to perform beyond its natural limits is often underestimated. Most people are unaware of just how much their mental state influences their physical capabilities. In truth, the mind and body are deeply intertwined, with the mind acting as the orchestrator of the body's actions. When the mind is conditioned to believe that it can overcome physical limitations, the body follows suit. The power of belief and mental conditioning is what allows athletes to break records, artists to create masterpieces, and individuals to achieve seemingly impossible feats. Mental strength can push the body beyond what it is normally capable of because the body is far more adaptable than we often give it credit for. When the mind is focused and determined, it sends signals to the body that can override its natural inclinations, enabling it to operate in ways that would be deemed impossible under normal circumstances. The mind's ability to overcome physical limitations is not magic. It is a process of rewiring the neural pathways and conditioning the body to perform under mental commands. As the mind strengthens, it unlocks the body's potential, making the once unimaginable achievable. This connection is not limited to physical feats, but extends to all areas of life where mental determination and clarity enable individuals to manifest results that exceed the ordinary. Altered states of consciousness play a key role in transcending the body's limitations. These states can be accessed through various mental techniques that allow the mind to shift its focus and perception. In altered states, the perception of time, space, and physical boundaries can become fluid, and the normal limitations that govern the body seem to dissolve. In these states, the individual can experience a heightened sense of awareness, where the mind is freed from the restrictions of the body and is capable of influencing its functions in extraordinary ways. In these altered states, the usual boundaries between what is real and what is imagined blur, allowing the individual to tap into deeper levels of consciousness where the mind has the ability to reshape the body's experience. Practices such as deep meditation, lucid dreaming, and even certain types of mental visualizations have been known to alter the way the brain processes information, which in turn affects how the body reacts. For example, individuals in deep meditative states have been shown to lower their heart rate, reduce pain perception, and even heal injuries by simply altering their mental state. By accessing these altered states, the mind can temporarily disconnect from the body's natural rhythms and harness greater powers of self-regulation and control. These states open up possibilities for the body to function beyond its typical limitations, demonstrating the incredible influence of the mind over the physical body. One of the most profound mental techniques for transcending the limitations of the body is the ability to reach a state of mind where pain, fatigue, and discomfort no longer exist. The experience of pain, fatigue, and discomfort is often thought of as being directly tied to the physical state of the body. But this is not the full picture. The perception of pain and discomfort is mediated by the brain, and it is influenced by how the mind interprets these sensations. When the mind is trained to focus beyond the physical sensations of pain or fatigue, it can reframe the body's experience and diminish the intensity of these feelings. This is not about ignoring the body's signals, but about changing the way the mind processes and responds to them. Pain is often a signal from the body, but the mind has the ability to alter the experience of that pain by changing the perception of it. Through focused mental techniques, an individual can learn to dissociate the sensation of pain from its emotional and physical impact, allowing them to continue performing despite the discomfort. Similarly, by shifting mental focus, fatigue can be reduced, and the body can be pushed to perform beyond its natural endurance. The mind's ability to reframe and shift perception is a powerful tool in overcoming the body's limits, allowing individuals to experience states of heightened performance and resistance to discomfort. These mental techniques and practices are not just about enduring physical discomfort or pushing through physical limitations. They are about recognizing and tapping into the vast, untapped potential of the mind to shape the body's experience. When we learn to transcend the body's limits through the mind, we discover that the true power lies not in the physical body, but in the mind's ability to influence, override, and transcend its boundaries. The mind, when harnessed and focused, can create realities that defy what was once thought possible, allowing us to experience life on a whole new level of mastery and control. Chapter 10. Shifting between dimensions of consciousness. Shifting between dimensions of consciousness involves a deep understanding of the layers that make up human awareness. Consciousness is not a singular fixed state, but rather a multi-layered experience that allows individuals to perceive and interact with reality in varied ways. Our awareness typically operates within a three-dimensional reality, where time, space, and physicality shape our daily existence. However, beneath this surface layer lies a vast network of higher dimensional states, often referred to as alternate realities or planes of existence. These dimensions are not separate from us, but are accessible through shifts in our consciousness. When we tap into these different layers, we can experience realities that transcend the limits of time and space, offering opportunities for growth, understanding, and profound transformation. The key to accessing these dimensions lies in the ability to navigate the layers of consciousness, understanding that each layer reflects a different aspect of reality. By unlocking these dimensions, one can access states of being that are beyond the physical, interacting with energies, forces, and information that shape the universe in unseen ways. The process of navigating between the three-dimensional world and higher dimensional states involves subtle shifts in both mental and energetic frequencies. To move from one dimension to another, a shift in perception is required, wherein the individual must consciously let go of the dense, physical world around them. This transition is often facilitated by tuning the mind to specific frequencies, using mental techniques and focus to move beyond the ordinary constraints of physical existence. One common technique involves quieting the mind through deep meditation, where the usual distractions of the physical world fade, allowing the person to enter a heightened state of awareness. This mental state opens up a doorway to higher realms of consciousness, where the limitations of time and space are no longer relevant. In these higher states, perception becomes more fluid, and the boundaries between the self and the universe begin to dissolve. Through this process, individuals can experience what may seem like alternate realities, seeing and interacting with aspects of existence that go beyond the conventional understanding of the world. It is important to note that the mind does not need to go anywhere physically. Instead, it shifts its focus, opening the door to a vast array of higher dimensional experiences that were once hidden from view. Deep meditation and trance states play a significant role in shifting consciousness. These altered states allow the mind to detach from the constraints of the physical world, entering into a space where perception is no longer limited by the senses. Meditation serves as a gateway to different dimensions of consciousness, facilitating a deeper connection with the inner workings of the mind and the subtle energies that flow through all things. In trance-like states, whether induced through meditation, breathing techniques, or specific visualizations, the individual can access higher planes of existence where time, space, and form lose their rigid definitions. These states of altered consciousness are akin to opening a window into other dimensions, where the laws of physics and linear time no longer apply. In these realms, the individual can gain insights into the nature of reality, engage with energies that influence their lives, and even receive guidance from higher beings or aspects of the self. By deepening one's ability to enter such states, the individual can begin to move between dimensions with greater ease, navigating through these planes as though they were shifting between rooms in a house. The deeper the state of meditation or trance, the more expansive the journey becomes, leading the practitioner to new insights and experiences that would be inaccessible in ordinary states of mind. The role of thoughts and energy patterns in shaping our dimensional experiences cannot be overstated. Every thought, emotion, and belief we hold carries an energetic frequency, and these frequencies have the power to attract different dimensional experiences. When we are consciously aware of the energy patterns we create with our thoughts, we begin to understand that the realities we encounter are not random, but a reflection of the energy we emit. The thoughts we entertain, the beliefs we hold about ourselves and the world, and the emotions we experience all contribute to the vibrational frequency that shapes the dimensions we access. For example, if an individual holds fear or doubt, these emotions can attract lower dimensional experiences, often manifesting as challenging or limiting circumstances. Conversely, when the mind is focused on love, gratitude, and expansive thoughts, it aligns with higher dimensional frequencies that attract positive, transformative experiences. This understanding allows individuals to take greater control of their conscious shifts as they realize that their energetic state directly influences the realities they encounter. By consciously cultivating certain mental and emotional states, individuals can navigate through higher dimensional experiences that resonate with their deepest desires and goals, bypassing the limitations of the physical realm and entering into more expansive states of being. The potential dangers and rewards of consistently shifting between realities are not to be taken lightly. While the ability to move between different dimensions of consciousness can lead to profound personal growth, deeper understanding, and connection with the universe, it also comes with risks. One of the primary dangers is the possibility of becoming disconnected from the physical reality. As an individual shifts more frequently into higher dimensional states, there is a tendency to lose grounding in the 3D world, which can lead to confusion, disorientation, or a sense of dissociation. The mind may become so accustomed to navigating other dimensions that it loses touch with the practical realities of daily life, resulting in difficulty maintaining relationships, responsibilities, and a stable sense of self. Additionally, there is the risk of encountering energies or entities that may not have benevolent intentions, especially if one is not adequately prepared or protected. These energies can create disturbances in the individual's energetic field, causing emotional, psychological, or even physical imbalances. Therefore, it is crucial for anyone exploring these altered states to maintain a strong sense of inner discipline, set clear intentions, and take steps to protect their energy field. Despite these risks, the rewards of consistently shifting between realities can be immense. These rewards include profound personal insight, healing, and a deeper connection to the universal consciousness that underpins all existence. By mastering the ability to shift between dimensions, individuals can gain access to higher knowledge, tap into their true potential, and experience a state of being that is aligned with their highest self. The key to navigating these shifts successfully is balance. Knowing when to move between dimensions and when to stay rooted in the physical world in order to integrate the wisdom gained from higher planes into everyday life. Chapter 11. The Shadow Self. The Gateway to True Power. The shadow self, a concept that many are hesitant to acknowledge, is often seen as the hidden or denied parts of our psyche. These are aspects of ourselves that we've pushed away because they don't align with our ideal self-image or because they've been judged as negative by societal or personal standards. These parts of ourselves could include feelings of anger, jealousy, insecurity, or even the unconscious beliefs and behaviors we've developed over time. In reality, these elements hold incredible potential. They are, in essence, untapped power. The shadow self represents a treasure chest of raw, primal energy and strengths that remain dormant until we dare to confront them. When we deny these parts, we inadvertently limit ourselves, suppressing the very qualities that could propel us to higher levels of success, happiness, and self-fulfillment. By acknowledging these aspects, we unlock the keys to power that lie hidden beneath the surface, allowing us to access a greater sense of purpose and strength that would otherwise remain inaccessible. To access the power of the shadow self, one must confront it with openness and willingness. It is through confrontation that we can integrate the shadow into our full being. Integrating the shadow means accepting and understanding these hidden aspects rather than repressing or rejecting them. When we choose to face the parts of ourselves that we fear or dislike, we begin to unravel the layers of false self-perceptions and limiting beliefs that hold us back. This process, while often uncomfortable, is necessary for growth. As we make the conscious decision to bring the shadow into our awareness, we not only accept it, but also learn to harness the energies it contains. Each time we confront and integrate an aspect of our shadow, we gain a new strength, a new insight, or a new talent that was previously unavailable to us. These could be strengths like resilience, courage, or creativity, qualities that were hidden behind layers of fear or denial. As we continue this journey, we gradually unlock the fullest version of ourselves, one that is unafraid to embrace all parts of the human experience, both light and dark. The transformation that comes from embracing the shadow is profound. As we confront the fears, doubts, and negative traits that have been lying dormant within, something extraordinary happens. The very qualities that once held us back now become sources of power. Fear, for example, can be transmuted into courage. Self-doubt can transform into unwavering confidence, and past insecurities can evolve into a deep sense of self-assurance and mastery. Rather than running from these emotions or hiding them behind masks, we learn how to use them as catalysts for growth. Fear can teach us to take action despite uncertainty, while self-doubt can drive us to prove to ourselves that we are capable. Through this process of integration, we break free from the limitations imposed by our inner critics and gain access to a deeper, more authentic sense of self. Mastery comes not from avoiding our flaws, but from learning to work with them, finding strength even in our weaknesses. It is in the very act of confronting the darkness within that we shine the brightest. Confronting the shadow self requires more than just intellectual understanding. It requires spiritual and psychological tools that help us face these hidden aspects with courage and compassion. One of the most important tools in this process is mindfulness, a practice that allows us to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment. By developing this awareness, we can begin to see the shadow without fear or resistance, understanding that it is not our enemy, but rather a part of our wholeness. Another valuable tool is emotional regulation, which helps us manage the intense feelings that can arise when confronting uncomfortable aspects of ourselves. Through breathwork, meditation, and other grounding techniques, we can create a safe space within ourselves to explore the shadow without becoming overwhelmed. Furthermore, practices like journaling or guided introspection can help us uncover the deeper layers of the shadow, allowing us to identify and release the beliefs, fears, or memories that have been holding us back. By using these tools, we can begin to dissolve the barriers between ourselves and the shadow, creating a harmonious relationship with the parts of us that we once rejected. The paradox of light and darkness is at the core of this journey. Many spiritual traditions speak of the need to find balance between these opposing forces, but the true power lies in mastering both. Light and darkness are not opposing forces. Rather, they are two sides of the same coin. Light represents the conscious, visible aspects of ourselves, those traits we value and are proud of. Darkness represents the unconscious, hidden aspects, the parts we fear or feel ashamed of. True mastery, however, is found in embracing both of these aspects without judgment. By accepting both light and dark, we move beyond the notion of duality and into a state of wholeness. When we integrate the shadow, we begin to embody both the light and dark aspects of ourselves, creating a more balanced, authentic self. This integration allows us to navigate life with greater wisdom and clarity, as we are no longer driven by unconscious fears or desires, but are instead guided by an inner harmony between our light and dark selves. Through this process, we cease to see the shadow as a threat and instead recognize it as a source of empowerment that enables us to live more fully, more authentically, and more consciously. Mastering the paradox of light and dark is not about eliminating one or the other, but about finding unity between the two, creating a balanced life where both forces coexist in harmony. In this way, confronting the shadow self becomes not just a path to personal power, but a profound spiritual awakening. By acknowledging and integrating the hidden aspects of ourselves, we unlock doors to deeper wisdom, self-awareness, and strength. The shadow is not something to be feared or rejected, but rather embraced as a gateway to a more powerful, authentic version of ourselves. Through this journey, we learn that true power lies not in perfection, but in the courage to face the parts of ourselves that have been hidden in darkness. Only by doing so can we fully step into our potential, with all our strengths, vulnerabilities, and wisdom intact. Chapter 12. Breaking the Illusion of Duality. The myth of separation between the self and the universe is a deeply ingrained illusion that many experience throughout their lives. From the moment we are born, we are conditioned to believe in our separateness, separate from others, separate from nature, and separate from the universe itself. This belief in separation shapes much of our thinking and behavior. We see ourselves as distinct, individual entities, isolated within the confines of our bodies, minds, and personalities. But when we begin to truly explore the nature of reality, it becomes clear that this perception of separation is not only false, but also a construct of the mind. In truth, everything is interconnected. There is no true separation between the self and the universe. Rather, we are an integral part of a vast, interconnected whole. Every thought, every action, and every breath we take is in some way tied to the larger tapestry of existence. This realization shatters the illusion of separation and opens the door to a profound understanding of our place in the cosmos. When we recognize the interconnectedness of all things, we begin to see ourselves not as isolated beings, but as expressions of the same universal energy that flows through everything. The illusion of duality profoundly impacts our perception of ourselves, others, and the world around us. Dualistic thinking creates a false division between the self and the other, between us and them. It encourages us to categorize and judge, to separate things into opposing pairs, good and bad, right and wrong, light and dark, success and failure. These divisions influence how we see and relate to others, often creating feelings of competition, fear, or resentment. In this dualistic mindset, we view others as separate from us, often assigning labels that limit our understanding of their true essence. We may see someone who disagrees with us as an adversary rather than another person sharing their own unique perspective. Similarly, we view ourselves as distinct from the universe, disconnected from the flow of life, leading to feelings of isolation, confusion, or even despair. Duality also impacts our perception of reality itself. We see the world through a lens of opposites, believing that everything exists in binary terms. This limited viewpoint restricts our ability to understand the full complexity and richness of life, as we are unable to see beyond the surface-level distinctions we have created. The truth, however, is that all of these dualities are mental constructs, and once we transcend them, we are able to experience the world in a far more expansive and harmonious way. Dissolving dualistic thinking is a transformative process that allows us to experience unity consciousness, a state in which we recognize the interconnectedness of all things and the absence of separation. One powerful technique for dissolving duality is mindfulness, which involves becoming fully aware of our thoughts, emotions, and experiences in the present moment without judgment. By observing our mental patterns and recognizing when we are engaging in dualistic thinking, we can gently release these thought patterns and return to a state of wholeness. The deeper purpose of the Akashic Records is not to dwell on what has already transpired, but to serve as a living tool for self-discovery and higher understanding. It is through accessing these records that we begin to unravel the deeper mysteries of our existence, reconnecting with the inherent wisdom that resides within us. Accessing the Akashic Records can provide profound insights into our life's mission, potential, and the influences that have shaped our journey. Many people seek the Akashic Records in an attempt to understand why they are here, what their purpose is, or how they can align more fully with their soul's path. These records offer a roadmap, showing not just where we have been, but where we are headed. The records contain layers of information that reveal our unique spiritual gifts, talents, and strengths, illuminating the areas of our life where we are most capable of making an impact. Moreover, they reflect the influences, both external and internal, that have shaped our choices and experiences, including the relationships, environments, and patterns we have encountered along the way. Understanding these influences allows us to step back and see our lives from a broader perspective, recognizing the interconnectedness of all our experiences. The Akashic Records also reveal the recurring themes in our life, the soul lessons we are meant to learn, and the potential paths we can take to evolve. When we gain clarity on these deeper aspects of our soul's blueprint, we can make more informed decisions, align with our true purpose, and ultimately fulfill the unique mission we are here to accomplish. Unlocking the Akashic Records is not simply a matter of reading or accessing past experiences, but rather a process of opening oneself to a higher state of consciousness and receiving the guidance that is available in the present moment. The records are not bound by time in the traditional sense, and as such, accessing them is not a linear process. Instead, it involves attuning oneself to a higher frequency of awareness, what some may call an altered state of consciousness, through practices such as deep meditation, prayer, or intentional focus. When we enter this state of heightened awareness, we can begin to tap into the Akashic field and open the gateway to our soul's blueprint. Navigating the records is a unique process for each individual, but it often involves receiving intuitive impressions, visions, feelings, or insights that resonate on a deep level. These impressions are not always in the form of clear words or symbols. Instead, they may come as sensations, emotions, or even shifts in energy that provide us with the necessary guidance. By surrendering to the process and allowing the information to flow naturally, we create a deeper connection to our own inner wisdom and open ourselves to receiving the transformative insights held within the Akashic Records. As we unlock these records, we begin to unravel the veils of illusion, seeing the truth of who we are and what we are meant to become. One of the most powerful aspects of the Akashic Records is their potential for healing and transformation. By exploring the records, we can uncover unresolved experiences, emotions, and patterns from the past that continue to influence our present lives. These unresolved experiences may stem from childhood, previous relationships, or even generational trauma that has been passed down through our lineage. The Akashic Records provide a safe space to revisit these events with a new perspective, allowing us to release the emotional charge attached to them. In this process, we can heal old wounds and integrate these experiences in a way that enables us to move forward with greater peace, clarity, and freedom. The healing that occurs through accessing the Akashic Records is not merely intellectual or psychological. It is deeply energetic. By confronting past experiences and acknowledging their impact on our current lives, we can dissolve the energetic blockages that have kept us stuck in patterns of limitation. The records provide a unique opportunity to break free from these patterns and create new, healthier ones. This process of transformation is not just about healing individual wounds, but about stepping into a higher state of being, one that is aligned with our true soul's purpose and potential. To access the highest wisdom and guidance from the Akashic field, one must be open to receiving insights beyond the limitations of the egoic mind. The Akashic records are a source of pure, unconditional wisdom, and as such, accessing them requires a deep level of surrender and trust. It is not a process of intellectual striving or manipulation. Rather, it is an act of receptivity. The deeper purpose of the Akashic records is not to dwell on what has already transpired, but to serve as a living tool for self-discovery and higher understanding. It is through accessing these records that we begin to unravel the deeper mysteries of our existence, reconnecting with the inherent wisdom that resides within us. Accessing the Akashic records can provide profound insights into our life's mission, potential, and the influences that have shaped our journey. Many people seek the Akashic records in an attempt to understand why they are here, what their purpose is, or how they can align more fully with their soul's path. These records offer a roadmap, showing not just where we have been, but where we are headed. The records contain layers of information that reveal our unique spiritual gifts, talents, and strengths, illuminating the areas of our life where we are most capable of making an impact. Moreover, they reflect the influences, both external and internal, that have shaped our choices and experiences, including the relationships, environments, and patterns we have encountered along the way. Understanding these influences allows us to step back and see our lives from a broader perspective, recognizing the interconnectedness of all our experiences. The Akashic records also reveal the recurring themes in our life, the soul lessons we are meant to learn, and the potential paths we can take to evolve. When we gain clarity on these deeper aspects of our soul's blueprint, we can make more informed decisions, align with our true purpose, and ultimately fulfill the unique mission we are here to accomplish. Unlocking the Akashic records is not simply a matter of reading or accessing past experiences, but rather a process of opening oneself to a higher state of consciousness and receiving the guidance that is available in the present moment. The records are not bound by time in the traditional sense, and as such, accessing them is not a linear process. Instead, it involves attuning oneself to a higher frequency of awareness, what some may call an altered state of consciousness, through practices such as deep meditation, prayer, or intentional focus. When we enter this state of heightened awareness, we can begin to tap into the Akashic field and open the gateway to our soul's blueprint. Navigating the records is a unique process for each individual, but it often involves receiving intuitive impressions, visions, feelings, or insights that resonate on a deep level. These impressions are not always in the form of clear words or symbols. Instead, they may come as sensations, emotions, or even shifts in energy that provide us with the necessary guidance. By surrendering to the process and allowing the information to flow naturally, we create a deeper connection to our own inner wisdom and open ourselves to receiving the transformative insights held within the Akashic records. As we unlock these records, we begin to unravel the veils of illusion, seeing the truth of who we are and what we are meant to become. One of the most powerful aspects of the Akashic records is their potential for healing and transformation. By exploring the records, we can uncover unresolved experiences, emotions, and patterns from the past that continue to influence our present lives. These unresolved experiences may stem from childhood, previous relationships, or even generational trauma that has been passed down through our lineage. The Akashic records provide a safe space to revisit these events with a new perspective, allowing us to release the emotional charge attached to them. In this process, we can heal old wounds and integrate these experiences in a way that enables us to move forward with greater peace, clarity, and freedom. The healing that occurs through accessing the Akashic records is not merely intellectual or psychological. It is deeply energetic. By confronting past experiences and acknowledging their impact on our current lives, we can dissolve the energetic blockages that have kept us stuck in patterns of limitation. The records provide a unique opportunity to break free from these patterns and create new, healthier ones. This process of transformation is not just about healing individual wounds, but about stepping into a higher state of being, one that is aligned with our true soul's purpose and potential. To access the highest wisdom and guidance from the Akashic field, one must be open to receiving insights beyond the limitations of the egoic mind. The Akashic records are a source of pure, unconditional wisdom, and as such, accessing them requires a deep level of surrender and trust. It is not a process of intellectual striving or manipulation. Rather, it is an act of receptivity. To fully access the Akashic records, we must release our attachment to preconceived notions and expectations, allowing ourselves to receive guidance that may be unexpected or even challenging. The information in the records is not always aligned with our personal desires or preferences, but it is always aligned with our highest good. To access the records, one can use specific techniques such as prayer or intention setting, focusing on the desire to receive guidance from the highest source. These practices help to align the energy of the individual with the frequency of the Akashic field, creating an energetic bridge that allows for the flow of information. Trusting in the process and being willing to release any attachment to outcome is key to accessing the records with clarity and purpose. It is also important to remain grounded and centered throughout the process, as the information from the Akashic field can be profound and overwhelming at times. By cultivating a deep sense of inner peace and openness, we can access the highest wisdom available and receive the guidance that will help us navigate our soul's journey with confidence and grace. Through this connection, we come into alignment with the deeper aspects of our being, opening ourselves to a higher level of awareness and understanding that guides us toward our highest potential. Chapter 14. Mastering the Art of Inner Alchemy. Inner alchemy is the process of mastering the art of transforming negative emotions and energy into creative and healing power. It is the understanding that our internal state directly influences our external experiences, and that by transmuting the energies within us, we can alter the way we interact with the world around us. Emotions such as anger, fear, sadness, and frustration are often viewed as destructive forces, but in the alchemical process of inner transformation, these emotions are not discarded or suppressed. Instead, they are transformed into powerful forces that can be harnessed for healing and creative purposes. When we learn to work with our emotions in a conscious way, we begin to see them as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. For example, anger can be transmuted into motivation and strength, fear can be transformed into courage and resilience, and sadness can lead to deep emotional release and insight. The key lies in how we choose to engage with these emotions, recognizing them as powerful energies that, when properly understood, can propel us toward a higher state of being. By embracing our negative emotions and transmuting them, we create space within ourselves for healing, creativity, and empowerment. The process of inner alchemy can be understood through the 4 stages of transformation: calcination, dissolution, conjunction, and fermentation. These stages represent the stages of personal growth and inner transformation that occur when we are actively engaged in the alchemical process. The first stage, calcination, is the burning away of the old. It involves confronting the aspects of ourselves that no longer serve us, our limiting beliefs, past traumas, and unhealthy patterns. Calcination is often experienced as a time of intense inner conflict where we are forced to face uncomfortable truths about ourselves. However, this stage is necessary for breaking down the ego's attachment to false identities and preparing the mind and heart for deeper transformation. The second stage, dissolution, is about releasing and surrendering. It involves letting go of the emotional and mental attachments to the past and the old ways of thinking. Dissolution is a process of emotional release where we allow the mind to be cleansed of the clutter that prevents us from seeing the truth. In this stage, we are encouraged to let go of the need for control and trust in the process of transformation. The third stage, conjunction, is the merging of the new with the old. It is the stage where we integrate the insights and wisdom gained from the previous stages and begin to create a new way of being. In conjunction, we find harmony within ourselves and start to embody the changes we have made. This stage represents the alchemical marriage of the conscious and unconscious mind, where opposites come together in a balanced union. The final stage, fermentation, is the blossoming of the new self. It is the phase of spiritual rebirth where we experience a sense of inner peace, clarity, and wisdom. Fermentation is about integrating the new perspective and energy into every aspect of our being, allowing it to flow freely and transform every part of our lives. Transforming your inner state has a profound impact on your external reality. The idea that, as within, so without, is a cornerstone of the alchemical process. When we begin to change the way we think, feel, and perceive, we begin to see the world around us shift in response. Our outer circumstances are a reflection of our inner state, so by focusing on inner transformation, we can begin to manifest a reality that aligns with our highest potential. For instance, if we begin to cultivate a mindset of abundance and gratitude, we will start to attract opportunities and experiences that reflect that energy. Likewise, if we focus on healing deep-seated emotional wounds, we create space for healthier relationships and a more fulfilling life. This principle applies not only to personal growth, but to the manifestation of desires. When we align our thoughts, feelings, and actions with the energy of what we wish to manifest, we create a magnetic force that attracts those desires into our lives. The process of inner alchemy enables us to consciously influence our reality by working from the inside out, changing our internal vibration to match the vibration of the life we wish to create. Mental and energetic alchemy can be used to create health, wealth, and spiritual growth by cultivating an inner environment that supports our goals and aspirations. Health is not simply the absence of illness, but a state of vibrant energy and balance. By practicing mental alchemy, we can shift our mindset to focus on healing and vitality rather than illness and limitation. When we begin to think of our bodies as dynamic, self-healing systems, we create an energetic environment where health and wellness can thrive. Likewise, wealth is not just about material accumulation, but about creating a mindset of abundance. By transmuting limiting beliefs around money and success, we open ourselves to receiving and creating wealth in all its forms. This might involve shifting our beliefs about our own worthiness or letting go of fear around scarcity. Wealth in the alchemical sense is a reflection of the flow of energy in our lives, and by aligning ourselves with that flow, we can attract the resources and opportunities needed to create a life of abundance. Spiritual growth is similarly fueled by the process of inner alchemy. When we transmute negative energies and release old patterns, we open ourselves to deeper wisdom, connection, and alignment with our higher selves. Spiritual growth is not a destination, but a continuous process of transformation, and through mental and energetic alchemy, we can cultivate a state of awareness that allows us to evolve and expand in consciousness. Becoming the alchemist of your own life means taking full responsibility for your inner transformation and manifesting your desires from a place of internal change. The process of alchemy is not something that happens to you. It is something that you actively engage in. To manifest from a place of inner transformation, you must first focus on shifting your internal state. This involves letting go of any limiting beliefs, negative emotions, or energetic blockages that are preventing you from stepping into your full potential. The more you focus on transforming your inner landscape, the more aligned your outer world will become with your desires. This is where true empowerment lies, in recognizing that you are the creator of your reality, and that your thoughts, feelings, and energy are the tools with which you shape your life. To manifest from this place, you must be clear about what you want and align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with that desire. Mental and energetic alchemy allows you to fine-tune your inner world so that it matches the external life you wish to create, whether that be in health, relationships, career, or spiritual fulfillment. As you become more skilled in the art of inner alchemy, you realize that manifestation is not just about attracting things into your life, but about becoming the person who can hold and experience the life you desire. Chapter 15. The Energy of Thought. How to Bend Reality. Thought is often regarded as a fleeting mental process, something intangible that happens in the background of our consciousness. However, when you begin to perceive thought as a tangible, measurable force, its power becomes evident. Thought, in its essence, is not just a sequence of ideas or fleeting mental images. It is a potent energy that interacts with the environment around us. The mind is a generator of this energy, constantly emitting vibrations that ripple through the fabric of reality. Every thought you have sends out energetic pulses that influence your immediate surroundings, like stones dropped into a pond, creating ripples that extend beyond their point of origin. This energy is not simply limited to your personal space. It affects the people, situations, and even the unseen forces in your environment. What is often overlooked is the cumulative impact of these thoughts and how they, over time, create a framework for your reality. Our thoughts are not isolated events. They are constantly in motion, influencing and being influenced by the world around us. As you begin to understand that thought is an energy force, you can harness it with greater awareness, recognizing that it has the power to mold your experiences in ways that go beyond traditional thinking. When you shift your perception and begin to acknowledge thought as energy, you tap into a deeper understanding of how it shapes your reality. Science has demonstrated that everything in the universe, including our thoughts, operates at specific frequencies. Thoughts are not abstract concepts. They are electromagnetic signals that resonate at certain frequencies and can influence the material world. Each thought you think creates a vibration that ripples through the space around you, and this vibration interacts with the energies in your environment. Just as sound waves, light waves, and radio waves are forms of energy that can be measured and tracked, so too are thoughts. What is intriguing about thought energy is its ability to manipulate reality at a quantum level. In quantum physics, it is proposed that consciousness itself plays a role in shaping physical reality. This is not to say that thoughts can directly alter the material world in a literal sense, but rather that they influence the probabilities of what might manifest. The interaction between the mind and the quantum field reveals that thought energy is a bridge between the internal world of consciousness and the external world of experience. Understanding this can radically shift your perspective on the potential of your thoughts, showing you that your mind is not merely a passive observer of reality, but an active participant in shaping it. One of the most fascinating aspects of thought energy is its power when directed with focus. Focused thought is far more than a passive mental state. It is a deliberate, concentrated force that can influence both your internal world and your external environment. When you focus your mind on a specific idea, goal, or intention, you are channeling your energy in a way that brings those thoughts into sharper alignment with your desired outcomes. Focused thought becomes like a laser beam, cutting through distractions and honing in on the target. This focused energy is not a random occurrence. It is a directed force that actively shapes the future. In many ways, the future is not something that happens to us, but something that we are constantly co-creating with our focused thoughts. When you align your conscious mind with the energy of your desires and concentrate on them with intention, the energetic field around you begins to shift. This is why consistent, focused thought is so powerful, because it begins to bring together the various forces of your subconscious, your emotions, and your actions into a cohesive whole. Over time, this focused energy manifests as tangible results in the physical world, as if the universe itself starts to align with your will. The power of focused thought lies in its ability to bring about these subtle, energetic shifts that eventually lead to profound, real-world changes. To truly master the art of bending reality through thought, it is essential to understand how to consciously direct your thoughts. In the same way that a sculptor shapes a block of stone with deliberate strokes, you have the ability to shape your life by consciously directing your thoughts. This is not about forcing outcomes or trying to control every aspect of your experience. It is about recognizing that you are the one who ultimately holds the reins of your mental energy. Every thought you entertain either adds to the creation of your desired future or takes you further away from it. The key lies in becoming aware of the thoughts that arise within you, noticing how they influence your emotions and actions, and then consciously redirecting them toward what you want to create. This process of conscious thought direction involves breaking free from the unconscious patterns and habits that govern much of your mental activity. It means becoming an active participant in your thought process, rather than a passive observer. When you consciously direct your thoughts, you gain a sense of empowerment, realizing that you are not at the mercy of your mental habits, but rather the architect of your own reality. Over time, this conscious control over your thoughts allows you to navigate your life with greater purpose, intentionality, and clarity, knowing that each thought is a stepping stone toward manifesting the reality you wish to experience. The true mastery of bending reality, however, comes when you learn to use your thoughts as the ultimate key to influence the very fabric of time, space, and destiny. Time, as we experience it, is not a fixed and immutable force, but rather a flexible construct that responds to the energy we emit. When you begin to master your thoughts, you start to notice how your perception of time itself changes. In moments of deep focus, time can seem to slow down or speed up, demonstrating that it is not as rigid as we often believe. This fluidity of time reflects the power of thought to bend and shape our experience of reality. Similarly, space is not a fixed entity, but a malleable aspect of the energetic field that responds to your mental influence. When you direct your thoughts with intention, you alter the energetic composition of the space around you, creating a resonance that aligns with your desired reality. This is why focused thought can seem to manifest physical outcomes, because it is not just shaping events in a linear manner, but also altering the very energetic structure of the world around you. Destiny, in this context, is not a predetermined path, but an open field of possibilities that can be influenced by the thoughts you choose to focus on. The more you master the art of conscious thought direction, the more you can bend the forces of time, space, and destiny to align with your highest intentions. By doing so, you become a true alchemist of reality, capable of transforming the world around you through the simple yet profound power of your thoughts.